This castle, known as Wolfsegg, was built in the 13th century. It has been in town for such a long time that it has become an important component of the scenery of the village and has had a significant impact on the community that is located around it. It was constructed by a wealthy individual by the name of Ulrich von Laaber, with the intention of serving as a strategic stronghold for the region. Despite the fact that the castle was never required to serve as a defensive construction, it was essential to ensure that the population enjoyed a sense of calm and security. For the most part, Wolfsegg Castle served as a place of accommodation for marching soldiers. Later on, it was deserted and handed over to the community, who used it as a refuge for families that were in need of assistance, despite the fact that it was in dire need of revitalization. In the end, a rich and eccentric guy was responsible for the majority of the castle's restoration. These restoration activities are still going on today, and the most of them are being carried out by a group of volunteers. Among the many ghost stories associated with Wolfsegg Castle, the most well-known one is about Clara von Helfenstein, who was married to the guy who had everything. There is a legend that describes the difficulties that occurred inside the couple's marriage as a result of Ulrich's military commitments, which required him to travel often. When he was not there, Clara would find herself in the castle, feeling bored and lonely, and she would turn to other people to satisfy her need. After some time, Clara began having an affair, which Ulrich eventually found out about the next day. The legend goes that Ulrich, upon finding that she had been having an affair, had her murdered by local men in her bedroom on a single night. Since the time when Clara was murdered, there have been rumors going about that a white lady has been seen wandering around the castle, particularly in her chamber. A great number of people are of the opinion that this is the spirit of Clara, and she is also believed to be responsible for poltergeist activity, which includes generating disruptions in electromagnetic fields, producing weird light abnormalities, and producing full-bodied apparition sightings. Despite the fact that this folklore makes for a ghost story that is very captivating. According to historical accounts, Clara really outlived her husband and was not a victim of homicide at the hands of her spouse. Whatever the truth may be regarding her passing, many people continue to think that her presence is still present at the castle, and that she is the one who is responsible for the name of the lady in white statue at Wolfsegg Castle. Another eerie story that is often claimed about the area around Wolfsegg Castle is simply referred to as the Hole. It has been stated that this hole may be found inside a portion of the woodland that surrounds the castle, not too far away from the castle. It is said to be a deep chasm that was once excavated and discovered to contain enormous numbers of bones throughout several of its chambers. This information was discovered during the exploration. According to the legend, a large number of individuals, including Ulrich and his sons, vanished inside the forest under strange circumstances. No one will ever see them again. Some people have hypothesized that the hole is home to a monster that might be connected to the disappearances that have been occurring. In support of this notion are assertions that unusual sounds, which seem like they are coming from a beast, are heard coming from the forest and the region around the hole. Online and in the immediate vicinity, there is a limited amount of information that can be found on the location of this hole. In addition, I was unable to find it despite my extensive searches around the jungle. The possibility exists that this local legend was fabricated with the intention of discouraging people from venturing into the forest.